Hey, guess what's happening on this week's episode of the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with your friend and host, Oscar Camejo.
The holidays are a great time for get-togethers with family and friends. You know what I'm talking about. Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know the deal. You get to carry on those special traditions, make new memories and enjoy those delicious homemade holiday dishes you've probably been craving all year long. I don't know about you, but there are certain foods that I like to look forward to when it comes to Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Turkey, stuffing, candy yams, green beans, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, and a few other delicacies. You probably have your own. But let's be honest, the last thing on most of our minds is eating healthy during the holidays. We simply want to enjoy the foods we've come to love without feeling that post-holiday guilt. You know that guilt, that little shame that tries to creep in and try to tell you, like, look at you, you ate all of that ham. You really ate all of that pie? You should be ashamed of yourself. Listen, who wants to really push away from the dinner table on Thanksgiving, overwhelmed with guilt? Nobody. Nobody likes to feel guilt. Nobody likes to feel shame. So that's why in today's episode, I'm going to take a brief moment to share with you my recommendations on how to avoid that holiday eating guilt that some of us face. Listen, I don't know about you, but I want to enjoy Thanksgiving like everybody else. But you know what? I know how it is sometimes. We want to eat whatever we want to eat. We want to feel stuffed like that turkey, right? And unfortunately, we come away feeling depressed. A lot of people around this time feel depressed because they feel like, hey, I've put on these extra pounds. I've gone backwards. I'm going into the new year with all of this weight. And so they make some unrealistic resolutions that, come February, they fall off. But we don't want that to be the case for you. So I'm going to share with you some tips for enjoying your favorite holiday foods without becoming overwhelmed with guilt. So stick around to hear the rest of today's episode. You don't want to miss it. Welcome to the Beating Diabetes Podcast with me, your host, Oscar Camejo. My goal is to help diabetics and non-diabetics make lifestyle changes to reverse type 2 diabetes. When I started this podcast, my whole goal was to focus on people who are diabetic, maybe you're pre-diabetic, and you're possibly overweight, obese, and you're trying to turn things around. That was my story. I was 268 pounds. I was overweight. I was obese. I was sick. I was hospitalized. I was on insulin. I was on metformin. I was on high blood pressure medication. And it was just a roller coaster of things that I was dealing with. And you know what? When it came to educating myself about diabetes and health and living a healthy lifestyle, it wasn't easy. And there were times where I quote unquote fell off and it kind of set me back a little bit. But you know what? There came a point where I said, you know what? Even if I fall off, I'm going to keep going. So the things that I'm going to share with you very briefly today is really to help you to experience guilt-free eating. Now, I'm not one of those people who are going to sit here and tell you, hey, just eat whatever you want and just do it in moderation. I have a soapbox episode that one day I'm going to talk about that deals with moderation and what that actually means. Because, one person's moderation may be different for someone else. And I think a lot of people get in trouble when they hear the term moderation and they still indulge and overindulge. So in any case, when it comes to guilt-free eating, cutting everything out cold turkey, no pun intended, is one of the most common techniques for approaching a diet. However, doing so may spell disaster. Instead of putting yourself on such a restrictive diet around the holidays, I want you to consider some options that will allow you to ease into a healthy eating regimen. This will increase your chances of sticking to your commitment to healthy living and healthy eating and achieving guilt-free success. If you're concerned about potentially falling off during this holiday, I want you to listen up. because I'm about to share with you a few tips to help you to stay on track while still enjoying the traditional foods you've come to love. See, it's not about giving up things that you like. I remember someone once said, yeah, Oscar, I see you eating healthy and, living a healthy lifestyle. Man, your eating must be boring. I had no choice but to laugh because, hey, listen, I enjoy the foods that I eat. My foods are full of flavor. I still get to choose foods that are nutritious and that taste good. So that's what it's all about. So here are a few tips to get you going so that you can avoid that guilt that kicks in and tries to overtake you during the holidays. Number one, give yourself some grace. Be nice to yourself. Stop beating yourself up if you have a dish or two that aren't the healthiest. Unless you're on a strict diet regimen for health reasons and your doctor or your nutritionist or your dietitian has you on a strict diet because of your health, maybe you're at risk of certain things, I say that it's okay to enjoy your favorite dishes this holiday. Be self-forgiving and encourage yourself with positive affirmations to keep you motivated. Yeah, it's okay if you get a slice of pumpkin pie, peach cobbler. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up. It's not worth it. You've been beating yourself up all year long. Now, here's the other thing that goes into tip number 2. Don't overdo it. Yeah, give yourself some grace. Like I said in number 1, enjoy yourself, but don't overdo it. The key is to maintain balance because you know what? Maintaining balance is important. Although I encourage you to have a great time with your friends and family over the meals you love, I still want to caution you against going overboard. Avoid overindulging on the pies, the ham, the sugary drinks, the stuffing, the mac and cheese, and those high carb foods that you love, the cranberry sauce, and those other things that could potentially have a negative impact on your health during the holidays. Try not to set yourself up for failure. Number 3, remain health conscious. I've said this before that I've heard it said that whatever you give your attention to the most is what you're going to desire. Let me say that again. Whatever you give your attention to the most is what you're going to desire. So make eating healthy a priority, even beyond the holidays, even beyond Thanksgiving. When you sit down at the table for Thanksgiving and you have your plate full of food and the foods you like, I still want you to be health conscious. So like I said in point number 2, don't overdo it. Don't load up on a bunch of cornbread and stuffing and bread and some of the other things that, would normally be a challenge for you. I still want you to remain health conscious. Be thinking about your health. So control your portion sizes. Does that mean you only eat a little bit of this and a little bit of that? No, I'm not saying that. You still don't want to overload your plate with a whole bunch of food. You want to remain health conscious. One of the things that I encourage people to do is make eating healthy a priority. I can't emphasize that enough. You have to make healthy eating a priority. So I recommend that you increase your knowledge of health and nutrition by reading books and articles, watching online educational videos, and so forth. Now, I get it. It's the holiday. Are you really thinking about reading a book? Are you really thinking about looking at a blog article? Maybe not, but I still want you to be thinking about your health. So the sweet teas and the lemonades and the other drinks that you normally have, the high sugary drinks you normally have, maybe instead of having 5 glasses, cut back, do 1 or 2 with each meal. Don't go overboard. Remember, remain health conscious. Still be thinking about your health and life after the holidays. The key is to keep your health and well-being at the forefront of your thinking at all times. Number 4, have a post-holiday plan. So beyond the holidays, it's important to go into the new year with a solid and sustainable health plan. Making a resolution is no good if you don't have a plan to be successful. So now is a good time to establish good goals for your weight loss, for eating healthy, and your exercise. Start small and then build from there. For example, some people include meal prepping in their plan for the new year, as well as dedicating a specific number of days to working out and to their exercise program. I think that's something that's doable. Start small and build from there. So go into the holidays with a plan. So, Thanksgiving is coming up, Christmas is coming up. You're going to be around family. People are going to be making those special dishes. So while you're going to enjoy yourself, keep in mind, what is life going to be like after the holidays? So don't wait till the new year, January 1st, to come up with your plan. Start thinking about it now. While you're away and you're off, for the holiday from work and so forth, maybe this is a good time for you to be thinking beyond Thanksgiving, beyond Christmas, and getting ready for the new year. So what are your goals? If you want to lose 10 pounds, great. How are you going to do that? If you're wanting to exercise more, okay, how are you going to do that? Are you going to commit to 3 times a week in the gym? I think that'll be great. Commit to 150 minutes of workout per week. That's roughly 30 minutes a day of some type of exercise. What are you going to do about food and eating? So you get my point. So let me go over the 4 tips again. Number 1, give yourself some grace. Be kind to yourself. Number 2, don't overdo it. Don't overindulge. Number 3, remain health conscious. Keep health and your well-being at the forefront of your thinking. Even if you have to look at an article a day or listen to some podcasts, during the holiday, I think that would be great. Again, read some books. I can't get enough of reading books. So in any case, number 4, have a post-holiday plan. By easing your way into a new diet instead of torturing yourself with an overly restrictive fad or diet, you'll find that you'll most likely be able to stick with your resolution. And guess what? By next New Year's Eve, next Thanksgiving, next Christmas, you'll be ready to really enjoy your new healthy lifestyle and that new body. You know what I'm talking about? It's not going to be easy, but it's going to take some time and dedication and some stick-to-itness. You got it. I believe in you. I didn't have to stop enjoying eating foods that I love. I simply made a firm decision to eat foods that promote good health. And you know what? One eating lifestyle that I chose to adopt is the Mediterranean style of eating. It made a big difference in my life. I've lost over 80 pounds, not because I went on a specific short-term diet, but I changed my way of life, my way of eating. I changed my whole way of eating. And the lifestyle of eating that I adopted is the Mediterranean diet. It's a clean way of eating, a healthier way of eating. It's good for the heart, help to prevent disease and reverse disease. Listen, I was able to reverse type 2 diabetes by doing exactly what I'm telling you to do. Overall, food is meant to be enjoyed every day, especially during the holidays. So my friend, don't stress over what you should eat or what you shouldn't eat. Simply keep the end in mind, and that is developing a healthy lifestyle beyond the holidays. So have fun and make great memories with your friends. So if you want to learn more about my recommendation in terms of the Mediterranean lifestyle, I did a podcast recently and I wrote an article on the Mediterranean diet, which is a sustainable lifestyle for losing weight and reversing type 2 diabetes. You can go on my website at www.beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com. There's some free resources, including the podcasts, downloads, blog articles, and some other things out there, including a free resource that I'm telling everybody about. I wrote this healthy grocery shopping guide. It's the fruit and veggies edition. A lot of people have been asking for guidance on how to shop for food. So I created this little resource that I think would be a benefit to you. So go on my website again at beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com to get that information. All right. So, my friend, I want you to keep in mind that it's important to stay focused, keep moving, never go back, leap forward, and bounce back because you can, my friend. And above all else, trust God. I believe in you. Happy holidays. Be sure to visit the website at www.beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com for access to free resources and other information that will help you along your journey. If you would like to submit a question or a comment about the show or to learn more about the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle, you can always email me at hello@beatingdiabetieslifestyle.com. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to this podcast.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Beating Diabetes Lifestyle Podcast with Oscar Camejo. We hope you enjoyed this episode. As a reminder, this podcast is intended for motivational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional care by a physician or other healthcare professional or qualified fitness instructor. This podcast is provided on the understanding that it does not constitute medical or professional advice or services. If you're looking for help on your journey, seek a qualified medical practitioner. It's important that you utilize someone who is a trained, licensed healthcare professional who can help you on your journey toward good health.